I'm a single parent by choice. I have 3 children, all adopted through the Department of Children and Families in the state of Connecticut. My two older children are a sibling set that I adopted in 2009. He was at the age of 5 and his sister at the age of 7. My son suffered emotional neglect as well as physical abuse in the foster home, which was not given information to me at the time. Fell in love with them almost instantly, as one does when they first meet their children. Kevin suffers extremely horrible from reactive attachment disorder amongst ADHD and amongst other diagnoses. We've been in a battle for the last 7 years of in and out of hospitals, a lot of police interaction, because he becomes very unsafe when he goes into crisis. There has been a lot of destructive behavior, a lot of unsafe behavior, and only in the month of, currently he is in subacute care for the 3rd time. And I've made the decision in April that due to lack of resources, I'm just not able to take him into my home. It was a very difficult decision. It was a lengthy decision. It was a decision that I probably held off already 2 years or so, because I made the commitment when I adopted him to follow him through and to be his advocate. And the state has just made it extremely difficult due to lack of resources. Kevin requires a strict day-to-day schedule. He requires high structure in order to really function. Kevin does extremely well in congregate care. And as a parent, I want to be able and feel that it is my responsibility to give an environment in which my child can thrive. And unfortunately for Kevin, that is congregate care. And that should be okay. That should be permitted. And I'm just unable to access that for Kevin without the assistance of the Department of Children and Families. Seeing him in crisis when he was little is heartbreaking. I would try to hold him. I would try to cuddle him. One summer I had bruises from my knees to my ankles because I was trying to just hold him and cuddle him and get him through it. And it's just heartbreaking. And no child should have to suffer like that. And he's happy where he is. And we're able to function more as a family because Kevin is safe. Right now, we're kind of in limbo. The state was informed of my decision in April. I have talked to the state probably a total of maybe 30 minutes since that decision has been made. They have met with Kevin only for the first time, I believe, last week. And according to his therapist, where he is currently, they said that DCF is unaware of what they're going to do with him. They don't know whether they're going to push him again down the voluntary route, which we've done 3 times, or if they're going to put a case against me as me unable to meet his needs. An uncared for petition, as they call it. Because as a parent taking a child out of the system who feels that they've already failed him once, to now have to put him back into that system, again with the possibility of them failing him yet again, is a very difficult decision to stand by and watch. And that's why it took me so long to make that decision, because I don't trust them. They failed him the first time. The day I had to actually tell him that he was not coming home was one of the hardest days of my life. He sat there emotionless. I was a blubbering idiot like now, and he just sat there stone cold, didn't look at me, I was rubbing his back the whole time, and then he just looked at me and I asked for a hug, and he held on to me for about 25 minutes, didn't say a word, just hugged me. And then later he said he was disappointed, but he knew that I had to make the decision that he couldn't come home because I couldn't keep him safe. And that's how we kind of let it, he's now comfortable with this decision. He knows that that's the decision. Does he wish he was home? Absolutely. Absolutely. Kevin is a child that requires continuous care. What these in-home services usually have a 6-month time frame. So at the end of the 6 months, regardless of whether he has done better or improved, the service just ends. And that's part of the problem, is there's no continuous care. And Kevin is not a child that engages. Kevin will pretty much engage for about only 5 minutes. He has a lot of language disorders where he's not a typical child. He doesn't do the face-to-face therapy very well. He does play therapy real good. But as far as sitting there talking about his feelings and expressive language, he can't do that. So it's really hard to find the exact fit as far as therapy wise, because Kevin doesn't participate. It has changed my world. But when I look into those brown eyes, I can't walk away. I can't. He needs me more than I need him. And that's just the way it is. And I vowed when I signed my name and made him a full-blown Russell that I was going to care for him and follow him through this journey. I am his mom, and I feel that I have done nothing wrong. I have tried to put this child back together after all these broken pieces. And I deserve the respect from the department, and I just deserve the assistance, because I'm doing them a favor. I took one of their children, but the support is not there.